If you've been following the channel, you will know that a few months ago, I traveled with Copa Airlines to the United States via Panama. While I've already published trip reports covering the experience of each and every one of the flights, before I finish posting the content of each trip, I like to make a little video summarizing the whole experience. This video will not be as filled with information as my trip reports are, but will be more of a concise review. I took 4 flights with the Panamanian flag carrier from Buenos Aires to Miami via Panama City and back. Among those flights, I traveled in 2 of the 737 variants they fly, which are, by the way, the main ones on their fleet. These are the 737 MAX 9 and the 737-800. From Buenos Aires to Panama and back, the flights were operated on the MAX 9. To be honest, the seat itself was comfortable, but the space was tight for a 7-hour flight. Both being daytime flights, if I'm absolutely honest, there came a point at which I just wanted them to finish. It wasn't the most comfortable experience. For a 3 or 4 hour flight, the 737 MAX 9 is certainly a very decent option, but as longer as the flight gets, the worse it is. It is actually the best you can get when flying Copa though, as you'll see that it can get significantly worse. Another aspect that must be addressed is the lack of food on these flights. To be honest, I was pleasantly surprised when I was served lunch departing from Buenos Aires. It was a hot meal, pretty basic, but quite good actually. However, I didn't think that would be the only food I would get. During the flight back from Panama, there was a similar meal, which once again was very good, and then the crew came around twice more offering drinks, including tea and coffee. Still, for daytime flights, I don't think it's enough. In fact, it wasn't. Given that the meals were also small, I believe they should have provided at least one more snack before landing. It's not a great feeling to be hungry on board a plane. In terms of entertainment, the 737 MAX 9 only has screens in business class and economy extra. Therefore, if you're sitting in regular economy, just like I was, you will have to use their on-demand in-flight entertainment on your own device. I didn't think the options available were anything outstanding, but as I don't usually make use of the system, it was not a problem for me. By the way, it's not necessary to download the Copa app to have access. If you are interested, you can check the Buenos Aires to Panama City trip report to have a closer look at the options available. Before I forget, if you want to charge your devices, there's only a USB Type-A port available at the seat. Now, let's run through the same categories with the flights to and from Miami, which were operated on the Boeing 737-800. Starting with the seats and legroom, I must say that while the seats were pretty similar in comfort, the legroom was quite painful. The flights to and from Miami are about 2 hours and a half, so it's not too terrible. But for example, some of the frequencies to Buenos Aires are also operated on the 800 version of the 737. Considering I did not feel extremely comfortable on the MAX 9, I don't know how it managed to survive the 7 hours on the 737-800. It's definitely a downgrade. On these shorter flights, Copa provided very similar meals to the ones offered in the flights to and from Argentina. In this case, for a sub-3 hour flight, I must say the service is excellent. In both cases it was dinner service, and while the meals might not be too big or tasty, the fact that they serve a hot meal on this route really sets them apart from their competitors. I was very pleased and actually surprised. Finally, onto the entertainment. Coming into the trip, I believe that every one of the 737-800s in Copa's fleet featured IFE screens. However, that was not the case, as the flight from Panama to Miami was operated by one of those planes without screens. On that flight, there was simply no entertainment available and charging ports neither. However, on the flight back to Panama, which was on another 737-800, there were IFE screens available indeed, and a USB-A port with it too. The system was pretty outdated and the content, again, was nothing out of the ordinary and in fact, quite average. But at least you have the screen at your disposal if you fancy watching anything, even if it's having a look at the in-flight map. Now, before I wrap up this video, there's a few comments worth making. Firstly, the crew, in all of our flights were very friendly and kind. Then, about punctuality. Copa markets itself as the most punctual airline in Latin America. Honestly, I don't know where that came from, but in all 4 flights I took with them, we did not have any significant delays. That is great, especially on flights heading to Panama, when there's usually a connection afterwards. Copa has their operations at PTY scheduled in banks, which means that over a short time frame, they have multiple departures and the same for arrivals. This helps the airline make efficient use of airport resources, but most importantly, it helps them provide multiple connecting options to their arriving passengers. This is the reason why connections in Panama are often short and very effective. I posted a video about the connecting process in Panama City last week, so in case you're interested, I'll link it above. That's pretty much it for my Copa Airlines experience and quick overlook at their product and service. All in all, it was a positive experience given that there were no delays whatsoever and the trip was a success. Still, there are plenty of things I believe could be improved, with a re-evaluation of their catering service on longer flights being the most important one. Besides that, Copa is still a very good option if you're traveling from South America to North America or vice versa, and to travel to the Caribbean from both parts of the continent as well. If you know what to expect, you will not be disappointed, and in fact, the experience will most likely be very good. That is everything I have to say for today. I hope you found this video useful, and if that was the case, don't hesitate to leave a like and subscribe to the channel so as not to miss any of the upcoming uploads. There are a lot more great videos to come, so stay tuned. On to the next one.